than the Qutub Minar, which will now turn to rubble in just about 3 hours' time. So at this point, on your screens here, what we see is the Supertech Twin Towers, what was promised. A modern, swanky high-rise with ultra-modern facilities. And also on your screens here, what we see is what this dream is really about to happen in just about 3 hours' time. It will be just moments away before this entire establishment, worth about 1,200 crores, will be brought down to dust. All right, let me quickly cut across to India Today's Shiv Arur as well, joining us from one of the most vivid vantage points, bringing us a view that possibly anyone can see in Noida. Shiv, over to you. From where you are standing, we see that the Twin Towers is so visible. There's absolutely no obstruction there for you. In just about 3.5 hours' time, these Twin Towers will be brought down to dust. It is a controlled implosion which will be done by super efficient professionals. As much as people may have apprehensions of if at all something could go wrong, the engineers here who are right now at the Twin Towers at this point have rest assured that this has been done with meticulous planning. So nothing to worry, nothing to panic.
Absolutely, Nabila. Only 2.5 hours to go. This is well and literally the final stretch before the Twin Towers, the Supertech Twin Towers, come crashing down. There is every hope that in the hands of some of the finest demolition professionals in the world, everything is going to go as planned and there will be nothing to worry about. Hopefully, 2.5 hours and we will know. Just wanted to say that as we build up to what is most definitely going to be a spectacle, and as always, India Today has the finest vantage point for our viewers for any big story in the country. Let's also remember, Nabila, that what stands behind me is a spectacle of shame. It's a spectacle of corruption, it's a spectacle of suffering, it's a spectacle of collusion between Noida authorities and the real estate mafia, including Supertech. So let's make no mistake that today is not a day for celebration. There may be spectacle because technically it's going to be a wow moment, an astonishing moment to see India's biggest demolition so far of a building of this kind. But let's never forget the dirt, the corrupt, the people who've suffered, all of them in the shadow of these two Twin Towers. And the fact that, so much inconvenience, so much money has had to be spent to bring down these towers is going to be testament and a warning signal to real estate mafias, collusive builders, corrupt Noida authority officials, the Samajwadi Party and many others, from the past in the wake of these buildings that we will be tracking very, very closely. In a moment from now, we'll be naming and shaming, the only channel to name and shame the specific officers, the specific officials who've been responsible for what you're going to see here, viewer, in just 2.5 hours from now. When those Twin Towers come crashing down at a cost of hundreds of crores of rupees, the fact is not only is it a colossal waste in a poor country like this, but it is also an indication of what certain administrators, what certain officials, what certain bureaucrats, what certain real estate mafia have made possible. This is money that could have been spent for housing of the poor. This is money that could have been spent in something else entirely. But it is having to be spent to bring down a total of 62 stories combined in those two towers that will come crashing down in just 2.5 hours from now. Nabila, the latest that we have, of course, is that the explosives have all been primed, the detonators have all been readied, and everything is now on course for that final act of pulling the trigger 2.5 hours from now, Nabila.